My daughter told her friends I was just the ATM, so I paid for nothing at her birthday party and watched them split the bill. Her silence said everything. Hello everyone, welcome to Reddit Visuals. Let me paint you a picture. A Friday evening, soft orange light pouring through the kitchen window, and I'm standing at the counter scrolling through my phone, waiting for the oven timer to beep. I'm 46, divorced, father to a 17-year-old daughter named Ava. She's beautiful, ambitious, funny, just like her mother was when we first met. Only difference? Her mother had humility. Ava? Somewhere along the line, she learned to stop saying thank you and start treating people like transactions. It didn't always feel this way. After the divorce, I tried to be the cool dad. I was the one who made pancakes with whipped cream faces, watched Netflix until midnight, and yes, I covered everything. Rent, school fees, clothes. Even that one spring break trip to Miami she just had to go on with her friends. All of it, no questions asked. Because I thought, maybe if I did enough, she'd see that I was still her father, still worth her respect. But somewhere between the new iPhone and the nail salon bills, something changed. It all came to a head last month. Ava was turning 17, and she wanted a birthday party. Not just balloons and a cake at home, no, she wanted a dinner party at this upscale rooftop restaurant downtown, place with $60 steaks and $15 sparkling water. I paused when she told me, mostly because she said it like it was a given, like I'd already agreed. I asked, how many people? She says, only 10 girls, it's a small dinner. Right. I didn't want to be a buzzkill, so I agreed, but I set a boundary. Ava, I said, I'll cover your meal and the venue. The rest, your friends might need to pitch in or bring their own money. Fair? She barely listened. She was already texting the group chat. The next week, I booked the reservation, arranged for her favorite cake to be delivered, even got personalized menu cards printed with her name. Stupid me, right? Still trying to be the hero in a story where I'm barely a footnote. Then came the day of the party. I showed up early, spoke to the restaurant manager, and even handed over my card with the instruction. Only Ava's meal goes on this. I sat at the bar, out of sight, just watching, because I wasn't invited to stay. Apparently, it'd be weird if my dad just hung around. So I stayed back, out of the way, a quiet observer. And that's when I heard it. One of Ava's friends showed up early, tall girl, red curls, loud laugh, and she said, wow, this place is bougie. Your dad must be loaded. And Ava, without missing a beat, sipped her mocktail and said, he's just the ATM. The ATM. Not my dad, not he's really generous. Just the ATM. She said it like it was a joke, but no one laughed, not even her friend. There was this awkward little pause, and the girl raised an eyebrow and said, that's kind of harsh. Ava just shrugged and giggled. Whatever. He knows his role. I swear I felt something break inside me. You ever have a moment where you realize someone doesn't see you? Like really, truly doesn't see you. Not as a person, not as a parent, not even as a human being. Just as... what? A bank account? I could have confronted her, stormed in, made a scene, but I didn't. I waited. I let her have her little party, watched them pose for selfies and order appetizers like they were royalty. And then the bill came. I saw the waitress walk over, holding the leather folder, and Ava waved her toward the bar. My dad's got it, she said, loud enough for everyone at the table to hear. The waitress glanced at me. I shook my head. I stood up, walked over, pulled up a chair at the end of the table, 10 pairs of teenage eyes on me, and Ava's face drained of color. I smiled. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't realize I was supposed to pay for everyone. I thought I was just the ATM. You could hear a pin drop. Ava's mouth opened, then shut. Her friend with the red curls went, oh my God. Another girl muttered, did he just say that? I pulled the card out of my pocket. I'm happy to pay for Ava's dinner like we agreed. But the rest? I looked around the table. You're all old enough to understand what respect looks like. You're also old enough to split a bill. Ava looked like she wanted to disappear into the floor. Dad, can we talk, please? Sure, I said, after the check. I handed the card to the waitress and told her, just Ava. The rest of the table? Total chaos. Some girls started pulling out their phones. One girl whispered to another, I only brought $20. A couple actually got up and left. Not joking. left their half-eaten pasta, and dipped. Meanwhile, Ava sat there, frozen. The look in her eyes. Not embarrassment. Not anger. Shame. We didn't speak on the drive home. Not a word. She just stared out the window. But I wasn't done. The next morning, I sat her down. No yelling, no lectures. I just told her this. Ava, I've loved you since the day you were born. And love means support. But it also means boundaries. I'm not angry that you said what you said. I'm hurt. Because somewhere along the way, you stopped seeing me as your father. You started seeing me as a walking wallet. And I take some of the blame for that. I gave you too much. I thought generosity would equal love. She didn't say anything at first. Then she whispered, I didn't mean it. I know, I said, but you did say it. She started to cry. Real tears, not crocodile tears. And in that moment, I saw the little girl I used to read bedtime stories to. She said, I'm sorry, Dad. I was just showing off. I didn't think you'd hear. But I did, I said. And I needed to. We talked for an hour about how respect isn't a transaction, about how words matter, about how I want to give her the world, but not if I have to be invisible to do it. A few days later, she came to me with a letter. Handwritten. She called it her receipt of realization. Inside, she apologized not just for what she said, but for how she'd made me feel for years, like a backup plan, a necessary evil. She said, I want to earn your support, not expect it. I hugged her. I didn't say anything else. Sometimes silence is the best teacher, just like hers was at that dinner table. So yeah, I didn't pay for her friends, and I'd do it again. Not to be petty, not to make a point, but because sometimes the most generous thing you can do for someone is stop letting them take you for granted. Now here's where I hand it off to you. Was I the AI hole for letting them split the bill at her birthday dinner? Should I have just paid to keep the peace? Or did she need that reality check? Drop your verdict in the comments below. What would you have done?